What's going on? Just a beautiful day. We still enjoying the waves out here. You know what I'm saying? Still enjoying the waves out here. Waves are some of life's greatest teachers. And a lot of life's teachings, what they do is they force us to make drastic, sometimes drastic, but they make us stronger by forcing us to make a drastic change to our lives that made us previously weak. And I want to share with you guys 10 ways to strengthen yourself every day. Every day. This is how you can strengthen yourself every day, no matter what it is that you do, no matter what it is that you're trying to accomplish. You do these 10 things every day, and you can bring out an aspect of you that you have not seen before that'll make you stronger. First things first, you gotta breathe. A lot of people don't breathe properly. A lot of people, they hardly breathe at all. From the way that they walk around and they project themselves, you can just see it, that they don't breathe enough. A lot of people don't breathe from the diaphragm, which triggers the lung capacity to expand and to truly grow. One way you can correct that is by breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, really allowing that chest to rise up. And once you allow that chest to rise up, you let it out with everything you have in you. A lot of people don't breathe, and that's why they start to think too much, and they oftentimes make an irrational choice that leads to their own downfall. Thing number 2 you can do every day from now on. Go outside. How you doing, brother? Yeah, that's right. Videographer. Yeah, man, thank you, I appreciate it. Second thing you can always do, always take criticism. That's hard for a lot of people, especially a lot of people who've been told their entire lives that they're amazing, they're wonderful, they're beautiful, they're smart, they're great. All these things might be true. A lot of these things are probably true relatively all the time for some people. But those aren't the things that make you great. Those just make you who you are. And greatness is not truly an aspect of one person by being who they are. Greatness is achieved through a lot of humility. And one way that you can start being a better person is by letting yourself come to the understanding that you are not the greatest thing since sliced bread. It helps. It creates a more transparent way of looking at yourself and being objective. The more you're able to be objective, the more you're able to make rational choices, no matter what you're doing. Third thing that you can do, start being nicer to people. Give a compliment. Tell somebody that they're great. Let them know that they matter. That's something that you can do. A lot of people are suffering in silence out here, and a lot of us, you know, more desirable individuals, we love to walk as if we're gods when we're really just average. But what makes you extraordinary is when you're able to humble yourself to the idea that there's nobody else out there like you, because that's true. There is only one you. And that one you can do great things. You can do so much better when you got a team behind you. One man didn't build the Great Pyramids of Giza. No, it took a lot of slaves. But I'm sure at one point, the Pharaoh let them know that they were great for what they were trying to help them accomplish, even if they were being completely and totally used. I don't know if that's point number 3 or point number 4, but my next point. Never ever tell yourself yet. Learn to say no. That's what I'm gonna go with. Learn to say no. And I don't just mean, you know, oh no, I can't go out today, I have this to do, or oh no, I can't see you today because I'm already seeing this person. I mean, say no, I can't go out, period, because I have to work on this project. Say no, I can't make that because I have to. Say no, I can't make that because I have my own thing going on. When you tell yourself no, you find that it's a lot harder to say yes to things that are deleterious to what you're trying to do, or the way you're trying to live. You start seeing that a lot of these things are really deleterious to you. And it could happen for you in one way or another, but it won't happen at all if you can never tell yourself no. Next point I want to make is know where you came from. Always stay humble, I guess. Even though that was point number 1, this is another point. Always stay humble. No matter where you are, no matter where life takes you, never forget where you came from. Never forget what it took to get there. Because a lot of people, especially people who start to experience, you know, a good level of relative success early on in whatever their endeavor, they take that for everything, as opposed to the grain of salt that it really is, which is truly a test of whether or not you were built to have this level of success come to you at the rate that it's coming to you for a prolonged period of time, which will also contribute to a lot more and a lot different aspects of life that are going to be thrown at you in other ways. Stay humble. My next point is to always 100%, no matter what's going on, never doubt yourself, and no matter what you're doing. The minute you stop believing in yourself, the dream fades and it starts to die. Because the dream came from you. The vision came from within here. And if the vision in here is not clear enough or isn't tangible enough out here, it's never gonna come to fruition. It's never gonna come to fruition. You have to believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing. And that'll especially bring forth the necessary powers that are gonna make you great. And I guess this is gonna be my next point here. My next point is to never get too high, never get too low. Things are gonna happen. Things are gonna come at you. A lot of different stimuli is gonna start hitting your frontal lobe and your pineal gland and all that other stuff that you spiritual folk like to talk about. And yet, when it happens, and it starts to happen in some of the more crazy or some of the more wild aspects of life, you just start to see it as the norm. That's getting way too high on something that could be temporary, when nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. You can't get too high on things that are only temporary, because nothing is permanent. You have to remember that. You have to always keep on searching for, you have to always keep on looking to improve, because nothing ever stays the same. Nothing ever stays permanent. So as long as you understand that nothing ever stays the same and things are always prone to change, and therefore you have to always be ready to adapt, As long as you're adaptable, you're never going to die. And last, I guess my final point after saying that everything, as long as you remain adaptable, remember, life is definitely what you make it. That sounds cliche. It sounds really cliche. But it's the truth. You don't go from, you don't go from being homeless, right? You don't go from being a homeless person to, you don't go from being homeless, living without a real home or shelter or a real way to like keep yourself alive, relatively speaking. You don't go from that to living, by yourself in your own place without putting yourself in a mode of humility and seeing that things can change. You, instead of seeing your circumstance as a permanent circumstance and seeing it more as a situational circumstance, you start to understand how you're able to think, to change, to make things change for the better. You can never stop thinking. Never stop thinking. Never ever stop thinking. But make sure, whenever you think, you always have enough knowledge and wherewithal and understanding to apply what you know. And then you'll never ever run out of excuses. Then you'll never ever run out of solutions, and you'll never ever make excuses ever again. With that being said, I think that's all for this video. And I'll see y'all on the flip.